sheriff's deputy. I mean, is that has to be somewhat concerning for the citizens and the voters out there? I mean, was that a lot of the topic today that you picked up, other than Nancy?
Yeah, it's the what's the word I'm looking for? The credibility that people are not seeing from the office and from Pima County is the biggest thing that I was hearing today. Just how could you have someone who can do things like that and not follow through with investigations? And there was one woman, she said the conversation basis went along the lines of, if he can't put his job first over family, then we have a problem. I'm like, I understand that, but everyone has a family. However, work is work, home is home. You don't take work home and you don't take home to work. And I feel like that's where there's a big conflict of interest, because to me it seems like he can't separate his home life from work. And I I don't know the man personally. It's not like I've had coffee with him recently, nor would I want to, but everyone goes through things and it's about how you react to it. And he has not been reacting well at all.
So I was going to call out there Monday to try to find someone at the county commission level to bring onto the live to talk about. But is this starting to hit the news cycle out there, this recall? We know that Nancy Guthrie's been in the news every single day for 57 plus days, right?
Yeah.
Wherever we're at. But is the recall in the news? Are they reporting on the local news? Is it a topic? And then the other question I have: has Nanos came out and responded to any of this in the local media on the recall that you've
Not
seen?
that I have seen. Not that I have seen. Um, I'm I'm very eerie with what news sources I watch, because I don't believe in fake news. I want I want the truth. I want how the cow ate the cabbage. I don't want no beating around the bush or anything. So I I try to watch credible sources, and I haven't seen anything here locally about the recall or anything of that matter. It was approved on March 12th, so that's almost, well, 10 days ago or
10 days
so.
ago.
So I haven't seen anything thus far, but I do know there was there was a few of the team that I'm now a part of that was down around the No Kings protest that was happening today, and they were getting signatures there as well. Now, how successful they were, I have no idea, but we're having a meeting coming up next Saturday, and they're going to have a notary at the meeting to where we can get all of the petitions notarized and legalized to where they're ready to submit come the due date.
And that was, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah, I mean, I've seen and have covered some of these recalls, especially in the law enforcement arena on the news. So I'm a little bit versed as to how the process works. Certainly, every state is different. But that being said, once you guys hit your numbers, and I think you're going to hit them, right?
I
You
think
guys are
so.
out there every day, I believe, right? Um, Once you get those numbers, then that goes back to the county election board. Is that my understanding? Is that the process,
Yes,
or a
sir.
state representative?
It goes to the at first it goes to the official that approved the petition, and then it will go through the channels from there.
And
What exactly
then,
those channels are, I'm not 100% sure.
and then what's the process in terms of once all the signatures are collected and you guys meet that criteria? Because you have, like you said, you have to have a certain amount of signatures, right? Um,
Yes, sir.
once that's completed, Who makes the final decision? Is it the state? Is it state level by the governor's office, or is it something at the county level? If you know the answer to that, to actually recall that, and I'm assuming they would have a special election, right?
I'm believing so. I believe it's just county level. But I could be mistaken. I'm not 100% sure, and I could do my research and find the channels and everything on where exactly it goes and what the process is, and I can get back to you on that because I'm curious about that too. So I can
And
I
then,
can find out for you.
and then my other question to that is, I mean, you're out there live on the ground, you live there, so I mean, you're seeing what's happening firsthand. Um, we know that the former co-worker sheriff of Nanos has came out publicly. I'm trying to bring him on the show this week to talk about some of this. But has he or any other persons out there that's qualified, have they sort of raised their hand and say, hey, I would like to throw my name in the hat to be considered in that election or whatever that process is going to be? Has anyone threw their name in the hat to become the next sheriff?
Not that I've seen. Not that I've seen. I've been getting information from Pima County on elections and voting and everything of the such, and I have not seen any new names on for sheriff or anything like that. I'm hoping someone steps up and is like, "Hey, I'm I'm in. Let's do this." But as of right now, I haven't seen anything.
Then my follow-up question would be, and you're going to keep us advised and informed as to what's happening out there, but we've not heard, and like we opened with this, right? And this just sticks in the back of my mind. Where is the leadership of Pima County? Where's the leadership of the state of Arizona, particularly the governor's office or the attorney general's office? They've been crickets, as far as I know, correct, in terms of the governor
Yeah,
and the attorney general. They've not said
yeah,
anything one way or another about the case, right?
correct.
Have you
It's
guys considered maybe reaching out to the governor's office to say, hey, by the way, we've got this approved by the county level, and try to maybe perhaps get the governor's office involved on this recall effort?
I I'm I've been trying to figure out the verbiage of how to bring it up to the group that I've joined and come a part of. They've all welcomed me open arms. They're a great group of people, and I've just been trying to figure out the verbiage of going that route because the Pima County and Arizona has been, to put it politely, letting down its citizens. And there's been multiple times where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to move to Texas. It's so much better over there. They actually have law and order, and they're not lacking in it like we are here. But the only way to change it is to stand up and have that voice. And I'm young enough, I'm 27 years old. So if people my age can get more involved in caring about our country and our county and things like that, that's what's going to make a difference.
Well, and once again, you should be the interviewer rather than the interviewee because you took the words out of my mouth, Crystal. I mean, my hat's off to you. And you're exactly right. You don't see a lot of young people today. I mean, we see a lot of young people out protesting and doing things they probably shouldn't be doing. And there's some good kids out protesting that aren't causing problems, but for the most part, we just don't see our youth. And you're youthful, right? You're under 30. You're a kid to me. We don't
Yeah.
see our young people out getting involved in the daily grind of politics. But when something like this comes up, you guys are the smart people, and my hat's off, and I thank you for just being involved and doing your what I would suggest civic duty at this point, right?
Yes, sir. And it's it's really easy for me to stand up and have that voice. My mom, she, whenever I was in middle school, she was in college for criminology and forensics technology and got her degree in it. So she even had to do a case and investigation, and I played her. I played her victim, laying out on the cold floor of the desert in the middle of the night taking crime scene photos for her main report. So she taught me to have a backbone and stand for what you believe in, and she's actually down in the chat saying that's my daughter, that's my daughter. So thank you, Mom, for
Is her
encouraging
name
me.
Joy?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, hi Joy. We see you. Joy says yes, she did.
Yep.
So
It
definitely
was
proud
it was
mom.
in the dead of winter, so it was not warm.
Yeah,
But
guys in the chat, if you can, like the chat up for Crystal, just being involved, right? She saw a problem and she had an opportunity to fall into this position. So like the chat up in support of what Crystal's doing with some yellow hearts or whatever you guys want to plug in. Um, if you can, just there's some people that just joined us from the FYP. Can you go over a little bit and summarize what you're doing so they can get caught up? And I've got a few more questions for you if you don't mind.
yeah, absolutely.
Look
So
at
me
that, Miss
and
Joy. Hey, Miss Joy, those hearts are all for your daughter.
they're for you too, Mama.
That's
You
right.
made me this way.
But kind of recap
But
and summarize what we're talking about for the new folks. There are some people from the FYP I see.
okay, so we are here in Tucson, Pima County. We are working on a petition to get Sheriff Nanos recalled. We have a goal of almost spilt my drink. 122,211 signatures by July 10th to get Sheriff Nanos recalled. And me and a team of about 50 other people are out hitting the ground running, getting signatures. We got about eight books today, just a team that I was with, which is 80 signatures, and I have 6 more here on my sheet that I have with me. So that's 86 in total for today with the 2 women that I was with today.
I mean, that's incredible. So, are you guys? Here's a couple of questions I have now that we're caught up and everybody's up to speed. Like, are you guys going to like supermarkets, gas stations? Where are you setting your booth up to get the attention to get these people?
So this morning was a gas station. I do know part of our team went to a local Pew Pew store
Good
and
idea.
was getting signatures there. A couple more went to Sportsman's Warehouse, Home Depot, where a lot of the Republic working class visit. I know there were 2 different booths set up at neighboring gas stations out here where I live, and it's just wherever we find that we can interact with people, whether they're coming in and out of grocery stores or convenience stores or wherever we can find a signature is where we're going.
And then my follow up question to that is, I'm assuming you guys will show up at one of these businesses and ask for permission to set up there, right?
Yes,
Are
sir.
you getting, obviously you're getting a lot of yeses, set up please, but have you got any
Yeah.
resistance from any of the businesses? No, we don't want you on the property doing this.
I haven't gotten any resistance. There was another group that did receive a little bit of resistance, and then they discussed, they're like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. It's not a selfish cause, it's not a spiteful thing, it's for our community. And they were able to talk the manager into allowing them to stay and get signatures. So there's some places are more eerie about allowing it, but others are like, yeah, go ahead, set up, just don't set up in the walkway or impede the entrance.
Yeah, and as a business owner, I could understand the hesitancy of doing that, right? Anytime you put yourself out as a business owner on a political mission or topic, you're going to perhaps get some backlash on your business, some bad Google reviews. We know what people love Google reviews, right? But I've got to tell you, I mean, I think this recall, just looking at it from the 30,000-foot view, it's a little bit different than the normal geopolitical issues. This is dealing with a guy that may or may not should hold office as sheriff. He certainly has a
Right.
questionable past in terms of Was he dishonest on some resumes? Were there some stuff that he may have placed on that resume that wasn't 100% true? We know he walked back a little bit of that. What are you getting? Do people trust this guy at this point, Crystal, in terms of leading that department?
No, there's
What
been
are they? What
multiple
are they saying?
situations. I have a situation that's going on that's very near and dear to my heart. It's happening with a family member, and the sheriff's department has completely and utterly ignored her cries for help, her pleads for her life, essentially, um, in a very hard situation. And instead of taking care of who the problem was, they arrested her instead. And the sheriff's department has lost all hope, has lost all um all oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not validation,
Confidence?
vigor.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
And it's sad being a part of the community. I was born and raised here in Tucson, so I've seen the community over the years. It's grown in population way too much, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But seeing the lack of authority from Pima County sheriffs is the saddest part of it all.
Have you guys? I don't know if you can speak on this or not, but you know that recently they just had a second vote at the sheriff's department union of the deputies, and I don't know the amount of deputies or who voted in that, but it was an overwhelming vote of no confidence from that union. Have you guys thought about maybe reaching out to the union reps to say, hey, by the way, we're on a petition drive, or are they already involved? I don't know the answer to that, but I certainly, if I was on the ground trying to get this petition signed, I would want very much to have some deputies and some employees on that list. Although they could be subject to retaliation. We know how Nanos works, but
Yeah.
have you guys thought of that at all?
Not from what I've heard, but that is a very good idea to inquire about and see the different levels that we can get this, because we're we're trying to do what's best for our community. And a lot of the people who are signing, they have kids, grandkids, that they're worried about their safety with the lack of due diligence from the sheriff's department.
Yeah, I would definitely consider hitting up, that sheriff's office or department union. I would also reach out to the local FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police. Those are pretty across the board guys and gals that are in law enforcement in that area, that region. So, that would be a huge um, honey drove of signatures, I would think. And then, has the media showed any interest in this at all that you've seen so far on the recall effort, on what you guys are doing?
Not that I've seen so far. I'm going to be creating posts here shortly to try and get it out there. I'm 27, so I have a lot of younger generation friends. Granted, I typically get along better with people who are older than me because I just don't have the mindset of my generation. So I've been thinking about creating videos, putting it out on Facebook, and seeing what I can do to get some gravity behind it.
Yeah, I'm 100% supportive of what that effort is doing out there. Enough's enough, right? Here's something, Crystal, that and we've got a great community here on TikTok, right? You're part of it.
Oh,
You've been a part of it.
absolutely.
You see this thing working every day, right? But here's the unfortunate part about this, and a lot of people don't understand this. And I learned this doing network news. Go in there and I'll do a talking hit for 15, 20, 30 minutes on a subject. And guess what? When I hit that off button, Crystal, I'm done with that topic, and it's to the next topic for Jamie, right?
Right.
It doesn't affect my home. It doesn't affect my life. It's just another news story that JC does from the studio.
Right.
Unlike you guys, There are viewers on TikTok that are 100%, and we see it in our Discord channel, we see it on our lives. They're 100% vested in the case of Nancy Guthrie, right?
Yes.
But once again, those folks, a little bit different, but at the end of the day, they still hit the off button, Crystal, and until it's continued again. Here's the difference, and I want to hear kind of your feelings on this. You can't turn it off. You live in Pima County. Your family is affected one way or another by the Pima County Sheriff's Department and the leadership of that agency, right? So it's not like at the end of the day, when you're tired of talking about it, you just hit the off button, because there's no off button for you guys. It's your community. I mean,
Yeah.
how does that fit in with what you see on like TikTok? I mean, uh, this is the first I've heard of an official recall ballot. But
hmm
what motivated you to do this?
Like I said, I have a 7-year-old daughter. I don't want her being raised in a community that doesn't believe in law and order. And sadly, I feel like Nanos, he doesn't believe in law and order. He believes in the clickbait fame, and he's no longer doing his job for his community. He's doing it to make his ego a little bigger. And
Well, let me stop you really quick. I heard a report yesterday or today. It was a former deputy that was talking about the sheriff, and the deputy said he was very flamboyant, loved the attention. I think I had seen the sheriff driving on his off time in a Corvette, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? Everyone's entitled to a private life, and I'll be the first to
yeah,
tell you that. But is he that egotistic guy that just wants all the attention? I mean, what do you gather seeing the sheriff act well before the Nancy Guthrie case? I mean, is he the flamboyant playboy type? Who are we dealing with? Who is Chris
he's
Nanos as you know it?
he's very pompous. He's he has a big ego. He tries saying that he's going to do all these things, and it's just a bunch of empty promises. He tries to rally the community, and I'm going to get this done and this done and this done, and as soon as he's back in office, it's like, "Oh yeah, I was just kidding about all that stuff. I just wanted the attention and for you guys to vote for me." And it's it's really sad having an elected official that has the ego of someone like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, who he's famous for acting. Why does our sheriff have that same type of ego whenever he has press conferences? It baffles me.
I mean, in the sheriff's defense, I will say, I know a lot of politicians. I know a lot of elected sheriffs. I know a lot of former elected sheriffs that were sheriff. They're these people are human, right? They're people, right? And I
Yes.
like to say it. And I learned this from my lovely wife. People do peopleish things, right?
Yes.
But the optics of some of this stuff is ridiculous. I mean, everybody's entitled to a private life, even the sheriff, even the president of the United States. We're all entitled to our private, personal time, right? But dad
Correct.
gum, you have a 84-year-old missing woman, and you know, I don't know if this is the mountain that I would want to die on as a politician, and
Absolutely
allow my
not.
ego to get ahead of common sense, and giving some credit to the FBI and some of these other agencies, and drawing them in, and for God's sakes, here's another question I have, and I'll kind of we'll close with that. Um, are you guys as mystified as everyone else with the lack of communication coming from that department dealing with Nancy Guthrie? They haven't been a press conference now in what, 4 weeks? We're coming up, I think, on the fourth week of no pressers. Is
I
that?
believe so.
I mean, where's the sheriff, right?
I saw a video on a local page here in Tucson of Sheriff Nanos in his sports car doing 80 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone getting pulled over. So,
People doing peopleish things.
exactly. So, it's baffling the lack of what it seems like charisma about the case. Like there's no drive, it seems like, for him to get the answers or to reach out to people to find the answers, like the Cajun Army coming in and offering their help, and all of these people coming in from out of state that are like, hey, we can help, and the lack of vigor to accept that help. It's in my opinion, and everyone's allowed to have theirs, in my opinion, it's disgusting. He should have gone through each of the channels and been like, yeah, what can you offer to help us bring her home? Because
I
if
mean,
it
you and
was
I
my
do really.
mom,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if it was my mom, I would be going through every single channel. I'd be like, oh, hey, you said you can help here? Come on in. Let's do this. Let's get this done. And I wouldn't be taking no for an answer.
I mean, you and I have not really spoke about this in person. I mean, we've never had a one-on-one conversation about the Nancy Guthrie case. But what's when you heard about the case on day one or day two? I'm not sure what day you heard about it. What was your first reaction? You know, you have
I
an
was
84 year
shocked.
old missing woman. I mean, it came out as missing, right? Um,
Hmm.
but what was your first reaction? What was the community's reaction? What did you hear right off the bat, like day two or day three?
I was shocked because how everyone is saying that there was a silver alert that went out and things like that. I didn't receive a silver alert whatsoever. I heard about it on the news. And when I heard about it on the news, I'm like, oh no, this is not good. Because being a member of Pima County, I had a feeling that it was going to carry on and carry on and carry on and not get answers and not find Miss Nancy. I was honestly terrified for her well-being, and it's it's really sad because my grandmother, she's I have an 80-year-old grandmother and an 82-year-old grandmother. It's a family, and Miss Guthrie, she's, I mean, like you've said, she's America's grandma.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's the the media attention on it here locally is pretty much non-existent anymore. It I haven't seen anything in about 3 weeks, any updates, anything here locally. So it's like they're like, oh, if we don't talk about it, they'll forget about it. Well, it's Savannah Guthrie's mother we're talking about. The country is not going to forget about it. We need
Yeah. I mean,
answers.
we've all been. I've been critical of some of the streamers out there. When I say critical, I'll qualify why, Crystal. You shouldn't be following the SWAT van around, right, and giving out
Right.
locations. But other than that, I mean, had it not been for these live streamers, like John DePito that's out there every day, John's been out there since day one. Brian's been
Yes.
there since day one, right? I really have a sense, and you live there. You tell me if I'm wrong. Had it not been for these live streamers and News Nation, I don't think we'd have any coverage on this case in terms of any new information, any new video. I think it would just fall on deaf ears. Am I correct? Or, I mean, there's just no
I think
coverage
you're
other than what we're
absolutely
talking about.
correct. I think you're absolutely correct. Without I watched Brian Eaton, I watched a few others, and they were on my screen everywhere I was going. If I was in my car, I'd have my phone in the cup holder turned away with it over my stereo listening to what's going on. If
Yeah, I
it
mean,
was
here's a
not,
couple comments real quick. Mind Your Business in the comments basically said, where's the family? Why are they not blowing up the story? I mean, Savannah Guthrie has the biggest platform that I know of any victim that I've ever seen in history of victims and the news
yeah,
media. She's got where is the family? And before you answer that, Crystal, I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. They had that kumbaya moment. It wasn't an interview with Hoda. It was a kumbaya moment. It was a hug and let's watch everybody cry. There were no
yep,
hard questions asked of Savannah, right? As a journalist should. But
yes.
it just where's the family? Why are they not out? demanding answers? Why are they not out demanding a recall of this sheriff who appears to be malfeasance, for the lack of better words? I mean, does that ring true with the community? Are they asking the same questions?
We're all asking the same questions. It's such a widely known case of what's going on, and especially here locally, the questioning of where is the family? Why are they not speaking on behalf of their mother? Why are they not advocating to find her? Why are they not standing their ground? It it baffles so many people here locally here in Tucson. It's I hear about it at the gas station, I hear about it at the grocery store of where's her family? Why are they not fighting this? Cuz I know I would be if that were my mom or my grandma. You would hear me all the way overseas. I would not back down until they were home with me or I knew what had happened.
I mean, I got to tell you, we don't do the conspiracy stuff here on this channel, right? We pretty much follow the facts. Crystal, you've been here a long time. You're one of the goats. You're here, right? You plugged in. You're
Yes, sir.
vested in this channel. You're vested in the Discord chat. I got to tell you, is it time? And I haven't. I'm almost there. But is it time to start saying? I'm watching the chat, Crystal, and a lot of people are agreeing that this thing just doesn't. It just doesn't pass the smell test, right? Um,
Correct.
is it time to start questioning the family's motives? And I know we're all sensitive, and it's her mother. You have Annie and Tommaso, but where I have to keep coming back to the question: where in the heck is the family? And I just, like you said, if that was my mom, grandmother, heck, Crystal, if it was your relatives, I would be on the horn and on the phone. I would
Oh
be
yeah.
using every media contact that I have in my Rolodex to get the word out, right? Um,
Yeah.
and I think that's when you hear these content creators, especially on this platform, go down these crazy, wacky conspiracy theories. That's why, right? Conspiracies sell. It's good for clickbait. But in this case, Crystal, it's not a conspiracy. We're watching this play out, and there's enough facts to make you question what is the real story with this case? What's the real story with the family? Um,
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough legitimate questions to go down, right? Um,
And from the very beginning, I had a feeling that it was someone close to the family, whether it be a service worker, gardener, landscaper, pool boy, something of that matter that is in cahoots with a member of the family. But I,
Crystal, Crystal. They may write the community. I think they're going to write your name in for sheriff. They're saying
I
Crystal
see
for
that.
sheriff.
I
You
see
may get a
that.
battlefield promotion tonight.
I'm just doing my due diligence to be here for my community. I show up for my family, I show up for my community, and if you don't show up for the people you love and care about, then what's the point? You live life to do what? You got to make a purpose of something, and if your purpose isn't for the better, then you may want to rethink your purpose.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to get rid of the spammer guy that's in here.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, I mean that's my point. No one wants to pick on the victim's family, right? No one.
Absolutely not.
Um, I can only imagine what they're going through. But like you said, I mean, we all have to start questioning. We're all adults. We all have two sets of eyes and ears, and we see and hear what's going on. So either and we'll kind of close it out with this. I don't want to take a lot of your time because I know you're out in the hot sun all day. Well, by the way, what was the temperature while you were out there, Crystal?
I think today it got to 102,
My goodness,
and I
child.
got a little bit of a sunburn going on.
You do get
So,
some sun. You better get that
but
sunblock on.
oh yeah, I forgot it today, but I'm gonna get some aftercare on, so I'm not feeling it tomorrow.
Now, when are you planning to go back out? And is this an everyday thing for you guys? Every day is possible? Do you have a schedule?
Uh, I particularly don't have a schedule. It's just as I can. The women that I was with today, they try and do it every other day. They're elderly, they're retired. They want to help our community and help the voice of our community. So I've been I'm going to do it in my spare time. I've been helping my grandmother. We went through an unfortunate series of events this month. Her house burnt down, and we're starting fresh.
Her
I got
house
her.
burned down.
Yes, sir. March
For
5th,
heaven's sakes.
there was a house fire. She was living in a 1972 mobile home, and there was an electrical fire, and she lost everything, but I didn't lose her. So I've been helping
Oh
get
man.
her set up in my mom and dad's house. My dad broke his ribs the same day. So it's just been a series of unfortunate events this month, but if we can carry on and continue, every day is a blessing, and that's how I'm taking it. So I'm getting out there to get signatures when I can in my free time, in between taking care of my grandmother and taking care of my deaf uncle. I'm an advocate for him and speak for him. So in the midst of everything that I take care of, I'm trying to also take care of my community and help my community the best I can.
You guys are certainly dealing with it, aren't you? You're going through it. A couple of
Yes,
people
sir.
asked, you can put it in the Discord. I have no problem with it if you guys have some type of GoFundMe set up. Um,
I do not. My grandma requested not to set up a
okay.
GoFundMe. She she wants to try and figure it out herself. She is on a fixed income. She's a military widow. So
Bless her heart.
she's got that prideful heart that she didn't want me. I was ready to make a GoFundMe the next day. So I've just been trying to help her the best I can. I had some stuff in storage. I had a whole bedroom set in storage that I gave her to where she has a comfortable place to lay her head. Um, the main thing that she needs right now is just clothing. She lost all of her clothing. I'm trying I'm trying to find stuff that doesn't fit me anymore and go through my closet to see if she wants it, and she's like, "No, baby, don't worry about it. I can figure it out." So I've been trying to inconspicuously help her without her knowing that I'm trying to.
You have a tremendous extended family here in Crystal. If it gets to the point where you guys decide to do that, I would encourage to get our community involved. I mean, we've got some amazing people, man. So
Yes. And
don't be shy if you guys go that way because community saying they all want to help. They're all asking about the clothing. Um,
yes,
I have no problem with that whatsoever, Crystal. And if that's something that you guys
I
decide you want to do,
I greatly appreciate it. I do have a video. I walked through the home, and it's on my TikTok. You can go check it out. Sadly, we did lose one of her kitties. The other one thankfully survived. I had to do some life-saving measures to save her kitty, do some CPR and everything. I do have a Venmo account. My information is in my bio on my TikTok for everyone asking. I'm I'm not asking for donations by any means, but if you feel moved to it, I'm gonna get emotional. It would be greatly appreciated because my grandma is my world. She she helped raise me when my mom was working her butt off, working two jobs. My dad was an over the road truck driver. She's who I was with. So I feel like I owe her the world. So everyone who is willing to donate who is willing to help, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I
yeah, guys,
greatly appreciate it.
go to Crystals and get that bio. And if you're interested in doing that, I would encourage you guys to do that. I mean, we this is a military widower. I mean, the Bible says take care of the widows and the kids, right? So
Yes, sir.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. That's just horrible. Guys, isn't she amazing? I mean, she's brought some amazing info tonight. I just felt it in my heart to get her on here to talk a little bit about what she's doing to help her community, rid the community of this sheriff that has basically done nothing but, in my opinion, steal from the taxpayers. He's stealing time. He's not doing his job. And Crystal, it's time to start making some noise. You guys are
Yes, sir.
starting. Do you guys have a website? Do you have a Facebook page? Is there somewhere where the people can go and find the organization that you're a part of?
I do have a business card. I can post a picture of it on the Discord.
Please.
I believe there is a Facebook page, but I will get that information and I'll post it on Discord for everyone.
Yeah, if you do that, I have no issue at all if you want to tag this channel on TikTok with that information, so the folks that follow here can obviously find that and go and join that effort. And let's see if we can get some. I, the guy needs to be thrown out of office, and he needs to be thrown out immediately. I mean, he's causing damage to that community. Good people like yourself and your family. Um, I mean, close us out. What do you have? What can we look forward to in the future? Can you come back and update us? I'll let you
I
have the
can
last
most
word on that.
definitely. We have a meeting coming up, and there's a meeting every Saturday. Not every Saturday, every third Saturday of the month. Um, and as we have those meetings, I'm unfortunately gonna have to miss the April meeting because I have a family wedding to go to out of state. So I'll miss that meeting, but as everything progresses, I will keep everyone here updated. You guys have become like a family to me. I'm here every time I see you live. I'm here. I'm like, "Oh, honey, I'm going to the room. I got to watch Jamie." So,
Well, tell him I said
even the
thank you
honey
for
and the
his
kids
patience.
know. Of course, I will.
Um,
Absolutely.
guys, once again, Crystal's a young lady that's out doing the work of the people for the people. And I don't know, Crystal, you may want to get some shirts made. Crystal for Sheriff of Pima County. They love you in the chat, and they're throwing their support behind you. But listen, I can't thank you enough for coming on and being brave. Not to come on to be brave, but being brave, stepping outside of maybe what your comfort zone normally is to ask for signatures to remove Sheriff
Yes.
Chris Danos. I salute you. The room certainly salutes you. And
Yes,
Mama
thank you
Joy,
everyone.
you did an amazing job on this one. So you should get an A
I love
plus.
that. A funny backstory. Growing up, all of my friends called my mom Mama Joy. So
Oh,
that is her
wow.
nickname for everyone is Mama Joy. So she proved to me that through hard work and effort, things pay off. So I owe all of this to her. So
Hey, I
thank you,
have to
Mom.
ask you, this is my last question. I'll let you go. Have you ever thought about running for public office?
I have not, but
I'd like to be your campaign manager.
I've been told that I would be a good speaker. Not to drag on any longer. I didn't have the easiest childhood. I went through the foster care system. My parents are 18 years sober. They did their due diligence to get us back.
Wow.
I've had a life. I've been through that, abusive relationships. So I've learned how to carry myself as a person and how to advocate for myself and others who can't advocate for themselves. So
Unbelievable. You
it's
have a great story.
I I have been thinking about going back to school, so I may have to go in that direction.
Hey, I hear they're looking for a sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Now,
I think my mom
amazing
would be a
job.
better candidate for that though,
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. Maybe it could be a family thing, right?
right?
Um, Crystal, thank you so much. I know it was kind of like the spur of the moment. I had text Crystal earlier today, guys, and I'm like, hey, well, actually, it wasn't earlier. It was like an hour ago, right? Um,
Yeah.
hey, can you come on at the live? So it was a short notice for her. She's been out in the blistering hot sun and the desert heat, right? But Crystal, I applaud you. The room's applauding you. And Let us know what's happening. I'll see you in Discord and, of course, the lives. And once again, Crystal, thank you so much. I deeply appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, of course. And for everyone saying that the Venmo isn't working, I'll go in and take a look at that and see if I can't update that information for you guys.
You know this community, they're going to act, so you better get that fixed so you can
Yes,
surprise Randall.
I'm gonna pause it from being on the live to where I could go make sure that's all okay, and then I'll be right back.
All right, go take care of that, and we'll bring you back in the next day or two. And guys, if you're not following Crystal, give her a follow right now because she's out there doing some amazing things. She's just not talking the talk; she's walking it, right? So I applaud you, Crystal.
I'm trying. Thank you,
All
sir.
right, my dear,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
having me.
Tell your husband I said thank him.
I will. I will.
All right, my dear. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and drop me down because
Yes,
I don't know how.
bye bye.
Bye bye.
Guys, there you have it. Wasn't that some great information? So, we hear people say, he needs to be this. We're talking about the Sheriff Nanos. He needs to be recalled. We need a new sheriff. He should be thrown out of office. How dare him to screw up the Nancy Guthrie case and other cases? But we just heard from a young woman, um, that took the bull by the horns and inserted herself into this group. And by golly, she's walking it out, right? I've always said talk's cheap, and actions certainly matter. So I just I'm amazed at some of the young people up and coming. Not to get off on a tangent, but we always hear, oh, we're doomed. The United States is doomed. This generation coming up, guys, that's totally false information. You just heard from one of the amazing young people coming up. I mean, she's young, full of energy, but she's passionate, right? She's passionate about her county, her community, and what's happening in her community. So, I can assure you there are more crystals out there than what we give credit for in our young people. And you're right, Leslie. Actions are louder than words. I mean, we hear people complaining and griping all the time. What have you done? What are you doing to change any of this? And that was a prime example, guys. I just wanted to bring her on and acknowledge her, but more importantly, to kind of let you guys know that things are underway. Efforts are happening to address the sheriff and his misconduct, for the lack of better words, and it's called a recall petition. So I'm almost 100% certain they're going to exceed the numbers of signatures they need to get this to the next level. And then it becomes a fight then with who does the sheriff know politically? Is he how connected politically is he? But that petition is very paramount on the recall. I would hope this group, and I kind of touched with it with Crystal, I hope they take these signatures once they collect and exceed the amount they need and send a copy of that to the governor's office to say, hey, this is what we're doing. We have a problem down in Pima County, and you need to come down and address it. So the sheriff could certainly be dealt with by the governor's office and be replaced and removed from office. I've seen that a number of times happening here in my home state of Florida, where the governor stepped in and removed an elected official. So let's see what happens. And then, of course, we have the good old voting system, right? We know the sheriff only was elected by a very slim amount, but I guarantee you, if the recall doesn't work and it goes back to the next election cycle, he will be voted out overwhelmingly. So either way, he's done. It's just a matter of, is he done on the recall, or are we going to have to go through the election process to fix that? Hopefully he would resign. I saw that in the chat from someone in there that he should resign, and I totally agree with that. That's it, guys. I wanted to keep tonight a little bit light. There's no really new information on the Nancy Guthrie case. I don't know how beneficial it is to come in here every night and now that we've certainly not lost interest in the Guthrie case. But I wanted to give a few nights off of the Nancy case and kind of come in with a little bit of a different chat, um, and give it a break. And you know, I think if you continue repeating the same thing over and over and over, it's not constructive, it's not good. Um, and I'm kind of holding off for new information. I will tell you, yeah, I like that idea, by the way, with Crystal. I will say this, though. I was on there a couple times today live. I did some stuff on the network news, and one of my home stations, the Live Now Fox network, I did that show before we started the news hit. We were doing a little bit of off-camera chatter, and here's what's happening in the media. The case is still garnering attention. Um, Spoke in depth to Austin Westfall, who's one of the main anchors at Live Now with Fox. We were chatting about the news cycle and what's in the news, and I did that news interview today. It was something totally different from any case. It was concerning the protests that we've seen nationwide today. But just in chatter, Austin told me, he's like, yeah, we're still getting messages and phone calls at the station, at the network. Hey, you guys have forgotten about the Nancy Guthrie case. Hey, are you guys going to do any coverage on Nancy? And if you guys recall, going back 3 weeks ago, I was on Live Now with Fox every single night, doing a hit on the Nancy Guthrie case. Have not been on there for that case in about 3 weeks. And um, guys, that's why I said earlier, it's super important for stations like this, channels like this, to keep the word on these cases going. It's certainly important for these live streamers. As much as we may not like some of them, they have a purpose, and it's to keep the content fresh and it's keep the story going, at least on social media. And I'll tell you, if you look at the numbers between social media and mainstream media, social media is winning hand over fist in terms of viewers and contributors. So it's vitally important we have those streamers out there. So the point of that is, it's just what can you report on, other than rehashing the same motive, opinions, and theories. We all know all of those, right? So we're going to have to get some new information on that, which, I go to bed every night hoping that I'll wake up the next day or get an alert in the middle of the night that something's broke in the Nancy Guthrie case. 'Cause golly, I sure would like to see something happen. Um, so, do we have any questions from the people? Are you guys are you guys all right with the way we did the live tonight? Change it up a little bit today, right? Wanted to kind of keep it light. I wanted to get Crystal in here and let you guys know that something's actually happening in terms of this recall. A little bit different. I really want to go back. The panel's great. There's nothing going on with any of the people. My choice tonight to come on here kind of solo, minus Crystal being on here, right? I just wanted to kind of go back to the basics, as the way I started this channel. And it's great to have the panel. There's nothing wrong with anybody. The panel's not here because I wanted to change it up and do something a little bit different. So everything's fine. No one's been kidnapped, but I just I really truly want to get back. I remember the first time, and I told this story a little bit on my last live when I was doing the Live Now Fox interview. I'll never forget, and I'm going to tell the story for the ones that don't know it. I could do live network news, and I do the live network news. I can do the network news in my sleep, literally. I button up the microphone, I hit the on button, and off to the races we go with talking whatever the topic is, right? But I tell this story all the time. When my first time going live on this platform, man, my finger was shaking so bad trying to find the on button, right? I get nervous. I'm a little bit better, but I get super nervous being on this platform before you guys. And I think the reason for that is you guys are an active community. You're engaged with the live. But I'll never forget my first live. I was a nervous wreck Nelly. Turn on the news, I'll blast through the news. I don't care what the topic is. But you guys intimidated me a little bit. I was very nervous. So, but I will tell you, the reason I came on tonight to do it this way, I missed the old days a little bit of just us having a communication and a conversation, rather than this great deal of discussion and sometimes the discussions are great to have. They're a must have. The experts are a must, but it gets a little redundant, and I get bored with that. If I'm off base in there, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I get a little bored with the same talking points for an hour and a half or 2 hours. Yeah, Debbie, I agree. I love the platform. It's us, right? It's more personable this way. So, but that being said, there's nothing wrong with any of the people that's been on the panel. Coco is under the weather. Strickland, I haven't heard from him today, but Steve's fine. Dewey, I heard earlier, she had texted me. Everything's fine with her. She was doing a live, but it was my choice to come in and do it this way, just to switch it up. And you're right, Sarah. It's good to switch things up once in a while. Thank you for that, Tanya. I really appreciate that. Willow, somebody reached out to me about Jim. I don't know if it's the same Jim you're talking about. Somebody sent me a message that was wanting to connect us together. If you have a way to connect with Jim, please do so and let him know. I would very much like to bring him on, please. And the other thing, guys, I don't ask a lot of you guys. I know I don't need a pat on the back. I put a lot of time in this stuff. We're going to get back to bringing some more experts on, different experts. So I don't ask a whole lot of the community, but what I would ask you is, my numbers are a little bit low in terms of the followers. If you could please share it out to 10 or 15 people in your group. I want to get those numbers up to 10,000. The deadline on that is immediately. I wanted to have that done a couple weeks ago. We're still short of the 10,000 followers, and that's really and truly the only thing I'm going to come in here and ask of you is just share this with 10 or 15 people in your community. Let's get that followership up so we can get to that 10,000 plus. Reason being, once I hit 10,000, it gives you more tools. I can actually start cataloging cases at the top of my page. If there's something you want to go and look at, the Nancy Guthrie case, it'll be cataloged. Or if you want to look at the Hawaii case, which I'm going to start posting tomorrow on the Hawaii case. And then, of course, we're actively, guys, in Discord, we're actively working the horrific homicide out of Ohio with a dentist. And we're working the missing general that's missing. So those cases are active. But if I can get to that 10,000 followers, it'll give me the tools to catalog up top. So when you're on my page, if you want to see this case, you just hit there, and every video will be under that category. So please share this out to, let's just, if you don't mind, let's share it out to 20 or 30 people tonight to see if we can get that number increased quickly. I want to get that 10,000 because we're way behind the schedule on that. Other than that, I mean, that's really, truly all I ask of you guys. If you guys like the way we did it tonight, put some blue hearts in the chat so I can kind of get a feel for where everybody's at. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the panel or the panelists. It's just I want to kind of get back a little bit basic as to how we started this thing and have a little bit more of a personal thing. And like I said, the panelists are great. The information from those panels are amazing. We're not going to stop the panels. And I'm going to continue bringing in the experts. I know that I say this lightly. I have a personal assistant. Her name is Colleen. And Colleen is gearing up. She's putting together a media list of contacts for experts. And, my contacts are scattered all over my phone. And every time I want to contact it, I have to go through and scroll that. So Colleen is going to start working on putting a media list together. And guys, like I said earlier, I want to run this as close as I can to the way I was trained doing the media and the news. And if you follow me for any length of time, I've done network news for about 16 years, right? So those people are very successful in terms of getting the experts on and the talking heads. And I kind of want to gear it the way I was trained in the news media to do the lives, because I think it brings a lot more credibility to our channel, but it also brings the A game to you guys. So I'll be reaching out to Coco tomorrow. Coco's been under the weather. He's a little bit sick. Coco hit the big 6-0. So I think I want to be a cowboy. I love that cowboy hat. But we'll have those folks back on. Dewey was doing some stuff, and I just really and truly, my choice tonight, guys. I wanted to do it the way we did it. So let's not lose that personal relationship that I have with you guys, because I think it builds a stronger community, and it's a little bit more personable. So any questions, guys? Boop. I love that. Those things still, guys. I get excited over those things. I didn't know what all of that meant at the beginning, and I am learning now what it means. And thank you so much. But I still call them art. Those things are amazing. I was watching a lady today on TikTok. I was doom scrolling, right? I was bored, and she received this, like a pot of gold or something, and she was like me. She was new, right? And I thought the lady was going to pass out. She was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful." But guys, I can't thank you guys enough. We're building, I think, something that's going to take over the platform. I have gotten better at reading some of the messages. I'm better, guys. So you have to give me an A for that from a D. I couldn't read them at the beginning. I didn't know how. And guys, and thank you for that. Thank you for joining the Super Fan Club. In closing, I still want to be president of TikTok. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but if we ever get to a place where we can vote, please vote my name as president for TikTok. But no, more importantly, guys, I want to start doing something with the super fans. I need some ideas on what you guys would like. It's your time, but I want to do something extra for the super fans, and I want to start that sooner than later, because I feel that I am responsible to you guys to bring something additional to you guys for being super fans. So if you can, send me some messages as to some ideas as to what you would like in that super fan chat. I want to do I didn't figure this out until today. I've been watching a lot of videos training. Sorry about the messages. Give me a minute and I'll try to read the rest of them. I watched a few messages today, guys, on doing lives for just the super fans. I'm interested in doing that for you guys. But you tell me what you want in terms of what you need from, or what you want from me for being a super fan, because that's important to me. You just don't do the super fan thing without getting something in return. And I know those emotes are cool, but I want to bring something tangible to you guys other than a picture or a meme or whatever that thing is. So please let me know and give me some ideas as to what you guys want extra as super fans. And I guess that's the way that works. I hope, because that's the way I understand it. Deanna, I don't even know how you become a super fan. I really don't know the answer to that, Deanna. I don't know. If somebody in the chat can figure that out, let Deanna know. I'm assuming there are a button or somewhere up here. I don't know, Deanna, respectfully. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer that. How do you become a super fan? By subscribing, someone says. And guys, I think you know I'm as earnest and legit as possible. I'm so naive to how all this stuff works. So, but I'm trying to learn. Thank you for that, sweet. I appreciate that. Lizzie says at the top where it says join. Hoodies and ball caps. Crystal, good question. Um, there's rumor. There's a rumor that some shirts are being looked at. There's a rumor, and I think it's a pretty good confirmed rumor that some perhaps mugs, some good sized coffee mugs, are being looked at. And it's also rumored that I'm going to get a copy of those to see if they're quality. Number one, number two, if they fit the bill for what we want for you guys. But I'm hearing shirts and mugs are coming. Shirts and mugs are coming. Oversized mugs are the best. You're right. I was looking. I like the ball cap thing too, right? Let's start off slow. Let me get the t-shirt thing done, and definitely the mug. Um, I'm trying to keep the price down, but I like those mugs, guys. They're the heavy fat mugs, if you will, with that cork bottom. Those things are amazing for anything hot or cold. So looking at those, um, the detective hats for your super fans, I like that idea. But guys, I'm going to close here in the next 5 minutes, and if you have any questions, guys, please fire away. But let me close with this for a minute. Um, something was put on my heart 2 weeks ago because I'd ask you guys um, if I ever get outside of the bumpers, right? We have bumpers. We want to stay in the middle, right? And I had it on my heart to say, if you guys see me getting outside of the bumpers, please yell at me and let me know. Um, not really. No one really said anything, but in my heart of hearts, I got away from the brand that I originally started with. So that's kind of why we're here tonight, doing it this way. Um, and like I said, guys, I don't know all the answers. I'm learning as quickly as possible. But if you see the broadcast going left or right, and if it's not straight down the middle, let me know. Don't be shy. Um, I just want to bring the best content to you guys. I want to continue covering these hard hitting, questionable crime cases. But more importantly, I want to get back to concentrating on experts. I want experts to come in to bring their A game to walk us through some of these cases. So we've had some amazing experts on so far. Once Colleen gets that list done, I'm going to give her another couple, 3 days to do that. And then we're going to start reaching out and actually pre-booking people, right? So also have a couple of friends in the media. One guy's at the Fox Network. He's an anchor. You'll know who he is. I'm going to get him on in the next day or two. I want to hear from the anchor's point of view, right? We see the anchors on TV every day. I want to hear what they go through when they see these cases like Nancy Guthrie, how it affects them. And guys, like I said, it's the news cycle. News sells, but remain factual that these people covering these from the anchor desk, they're humans just like us, and it affects them. But I want to hear from some news anchors in terms of that. So, anything else that you guys want to cover tonight that we haven't covered? We didn't talk a lot about the Nancy Guthrie case. We haven't forgot her. Um, Ashley, Ashley's asking, do I think that interview with Savannah on the Today Show was geared towards perhaps the suspect or suspects? I could agree that maybe, possibly, um, but really and truly, if you put your common, maybe we should get the common sense hats. If you put your common sense hat on, they weren't really anything there earth shattering that Savannah Guthrie said that really would appeal to the abductors or kidnappers in this case. And if you go back and dissect what she said, she may have dropped a few new clues, but there were really nothing, in my opinion, that stood out that if I was the bad guy holding mom or knew where mom was, that it would appeal to me to make the call to say, hey, I know where Nancy Guthrie is. What would have gotten some attention perhaps is bringing up that reward money and honing in on, hey, here's the reward, perhaps upping and increasing that reward money, right? Money talks and you know what walks. So I would like to have seen something along those lines, but really and truly, guys, I think the interview was just a kumbaya moment with the Today Show to reintroduce her back to the show and generate some interest in the Today Show, because I guarantee you their views are going to go up when she does return. And I think she comes back April the 4th or 6th. But it was a bunch of fluff. I agree with you, Kelly. It was just basically for the Today Show, reintroducing her back onto the show. Other than that, I think the interview was totally a bomb and totally useless. April 6th, yes. Yeah, I agree. It was scripted, very scripted, and it was, her emotions. I would never say her emotions would be fake or were fake. I think those were earnest emotions. But dadgummit, Savannah, you have the biggest mic of everyone. Give us a little bit more. If you want to reach out to these kidnappers or the people of interest that are responsible. Let's increase that reward and generate some calls and some new leads. If you get that reward up considerably, it's going to entice someone that knows information to make that phone call. Vicki, I don't know. There's nothing that says that deputy was related to anything with the Nancy Guthrie case. I can tell you this, though. If I was working that case and the deputy was arrested, I would have already had an interview with him if I was an investigator, because I would want to interview that guy, that deputy that was arrested for this alleged kidnapping that he was arrested for. So, you can't discount any of that, Vicki. Yeah, I mean, show part of the handwriting on the letter. I don't have a problem with that, and I don't think that would, I wouldn't advocate them showing that ransom letter or demand letter, but showing a portion of that handwriting certainly would be something I would look at doing as an investigator, because if it's a unique pattern or unique handwriting, someone may say, hey, I know that guy, I know the signature. I mean, people. So that's not totally out of the question, guys. Yeah, the deputy was 22. What was he thinking? He's a predator. It's as simple as that. People that have that behavior sometimes slip through the cracks on the psychological exam. Sometimes slip through the cracks on the background investigation when you're going to go out and interview neighbors and friends and family about that deputy before you hire them. Some people slip through the cracks, but I will tell you, if he's done it once, I think they're going to find that he's probably done that a couple of times. You just don't develop that pattern one time and get caught and do it. I would suspect that something else is probably going to come out of that internal investigation, the criminal investigation. And I will say, just because he's been arrested doesn't mean that investigation stops. It continues because they want to make sure they have all victims accounted for. All right, guys. Let me know. Drop me some messages. I'm at a position now where I can actually read the messages on TikTok. I know how to get around them now and read them. Super fans, this is to you. Let me know what you want from me and what you would like me to deliver you guys in terms of content. Do you want a private live? Do you want a group chat? You guys let me know, because you're the super fans. And guys, once again, thanks for sharing the channel. And in closing, I just ask you if you would reach out and touch 20 people off your friends list to share this. We need to get this thing built up to 10,000 immediately, so it will open up some other avenues and tools for the platform. Sarah, thank you. I love you guys too. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate you. All right, guys, one last thing and we're going to close. Can you guys just type in your location so I can try to acknowledge all you guys? I love to see the different locations. Can we do that for the next 60 seconds, guys? Type. Where are you from? Let's see, that Pennsylvania, and I can't keep up with them. North Carolina, Sandy, look at that. Boston, Georgia, Florida, Oregon, Tucson, Pittsburgh, Cali, Alabama, Arizona, Tennessee, Springfield, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New England in the house. Do we have anybody in the UK or out of the country? Don't be shy, guys. Come on, let's go. We've got about 30 seconds left. Light it up with where you're from. Virginia Beach. Love Virginia Beach. Australia. Down under, mate. Thank you for that. West Virginia, my hometown. Maine, Michigan, Missouri, Maine, New York, Louisiana, oh my gosh, South Africa. Thank you for being here, guys. Ontario, welcome in, eh? Nova Scotia, Dixie, Georgia, Kentucky. Guys, you all are amazing people. Mass is in the house. Northern Kentucky, Wisconsin, Florida, Italy, guys. Oh, Italy. Thank you. Syracuse, New York, Connecticut, Tennessee, New Jersey, South Carolina, Princeton. Wow. No, Joy, you're amazing. Thank you. Chicago, Ireland. I want to be a cowboy, but I want to go to Ireland too. That's on my bucket list, guys. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Until then, guys, be safe. We've got this conflict going on over at the Middle East. I think I am due either tomorrow night or Monday. I'm going to do a longer segment on one of the Fox channels dealing with Homeland Security, national security, and the safety of you guys and families out there. So, we're in this conflict, whether you agree or don't agree, don't worry about that. Stay safe. This shall pass, but, know your surroundings. If you're going out to dinner, to a movie, know your exit points. And for goodness sakes, guys, know the difference between soft and hard cover, because you just don't know anymore. But don't live in fear. Don't be afraid, but just be smart, guys. That's all I ask. And let's make sure everybody gets safe. And we all return here tomorrow night on the big broadcast. And thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you for sharing the channel. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the hearts. I see every one of you guys, and you guys mean the world to me. This is your community. So until then, we'll see you tomorrow night around 8 o'clock.